Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Priscilla and welcome. So today I'm going to share with you guys my testimony, how I came to Christ. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Well, so far I've had a constant relationship with Christ for 5 years now. I started my walk with Christ in November 2015, so maybe 4.5 years because it's not yet November. So I've had quite an experience with Christ. However, that was not my first time walking with Jesus. The first time I came to Christ and said the sinner's prayer, the whole shebang, I was in class, it was in 2 or 3. I was about 9 years then. I used to go to a church with my brother. So we watched it was a Nigerian movie. We watched it and then we were encouraged. We thought, wow, you see the way it was a scary movie, I can say that, because I remember after the movie, that's when we were all like, oh man, me I don't want to go to hell, so I might as well accept Christ. So we did. We were me, my brother and his friend. But I was in class 3, so I didn't know much, and after some time I thought, it was one off, so I don't think I any longer have a relationship with Christ anymore. So that was then. And then it also happened again in, I think it was in 2006. In 2006, we were having PPI. If you went to a Kenyan school, you know what PPI is. So we were having PPI, and then the teacher who was leading us through PPI asked us if any of us wanted to have a relationship with Christ, or if anyone wanted to come to Christ. So I raised my hand, and then I came to Christ. So that was my first experience, like having an actual relationship with God, and it was so good. However, my understanding of God then wasn't good, because for me, I think, like, if I was to talk about my understanding of God then, I'd say I saw God as the way we view God from the Old Testament. That's how I saw God. So my faith was based on doing things so that I can be acceptable to God. I was the type of it was just hard. I can't say it was however, even then, in as much as I was just experimenting and having a relationship with God, I still knew God. I actually encountered God, in as much as it was weird, and I knew my relationship with God was work based. I still had an encounter with God, so it was a good one. I had it for like 3 years, because remember it was in 2006, so 2006, 2007, and then 2008. So those are 3 years. And then I went to high school. You know the way high school is. High school, I don't think there's anyone who has a clue of who they are in high school. Because I remember, for me in high school, it was just all about fitting in, because I just wanted to belong. So in high school, I had a weird relationship with God as well, because it was the kind of relationship where a preacher comes on Sunday, you're encouraged, you're like, yeah, God is good, nini, and then after some time, like, you already know, when you have an encounter with God, there's a mark He leaves in your heart that I don't think anyone else can change. That there's a way there's a way that you know that this is God. So when I was in high school, I just kept getting in and out of relationship with God, coming, going. So I never really had an actual relationship with God. Then I left high school. That was in 2012. I left high school, and in 2013, still the same thing, just going ins and outs. Not like you've had an encounter with God, you know who God is. And for me, I think, like, having a relationship with God, for me, during those days, it's something that I knew God. I knew who God was. I knew His good stuff. I knew everything. But when in 2013, then I got into a relationship with God again, like a good relationship with God, after a very bad disappointment from someone who shall not be named. Anyway, I got into a relationship with God as well, but when I got into relationship with God, it was around June. So for me, my relationship with God is the kind of relationship where it's a friendship. So I know that God hears me, I know that I can commune with Him and all that. So for me, throughout that relationship, I used to know that my relationship with God could not last longer than 6 months. So as I was working with God, I knew that it could not last longer than 6 months. So it was in June, and I joined campus in August. So when I joined campus in August, once again, it was all about fitting in, if I may say so, and just being accepted. You don't want to be the type of person who has no friends and what have you. You wanted to belong somewhere. So in the process, I also lost my faith again. I lost my faith, and it wasn't a good experience, because when you lose your faith, you don't have anything that points you to it. Like you're baseless, basically. Hopelessness comes, everything else it's like every bad experience just comes at you. So I lost my faith in 2013 towards the end, and I gave up on God entirely. So for me, life was just come as it goes, do what you want. Then in 2015, when I was in uni in 2015, the school that I was in, we had an issue with the Engineers Board of Kenya. So the school, we striked as students, but me, I didn't strike. Me, I was at home, so I couldn't strike. I got the effects of the strike. So in 2015, we went on long holiday. We went for the first semester. No, we went for the first year, second. Was it in first year? I think it was in second year, second sem. After I had finished the second year, we were going for long holiday between May and August. So we went for long holiday, and then in September, that's when guys striked. When they striked, I couldn't go back to school, so I had stayed home the entire month of April, May, June, July, August, September. Then for me, I knew engineering was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So when you're telling me that the thing that I want to do for the rest of my life has been taken away from me, it's like I based my entire life on engineering. So when engineering was taken away from me, because if your school has not been registered, you couldn't be you can be an engineer, yes, but it's like there's something about coming from an accredited school that boosts your points of being an engineer. So when I lost that in 2015, I kept getting into bouts of sadness, depression, emptiness, and all that. So on November 11th, 2015, someone was watching John Hagee in the house. So I was in my bed chilling, and I was really, really sad. I wasn't sad because something bad had happened. I was just sad because life was just hopeless. It felt like I kept hitting a wall, and nothing could come. It was a wall that I couldn't beat, I kept hitting it, nothing could change the fact that this wall is not going anywhere. It felt like it's a situation that I cannot overcome. So in 2015 November, someone was watching, about 11th there, someone was watching I remember Hello by Adele and this song by Justin Bieber was making the news because they were still very new. So it was just, that's how I remember that circumstance. The way you remember circumstances with songs, those are the two songs that make me remember those days. So like I said, someone was watching John Hagee in the house, and then John Hagee talked about when you've encountered God, you know the joy of God, like it's unsurpassed joy. And I knew that I had encountered God, and I knew that I had experienced that joy. So knowing the two, and I was wondering, I had experienced that kind of joy in my life, and I had encountered God, and right now I was so sad. I was so sad. So that that joy and that sadness are two very different things. And I knew that for me to be able to overcome the sadness that I was feeling, I needed that joy. So I prayed and told God. It's funny how we think that we can give God an ultimatum. Anyway, I prayed and told God, I will give it time. I will give it time. If coming into relationship with you is what you want for me, then I will do it, but I will give it time, because you know how many times I've done this thing and I've failed so many times. So what will make this one different? So what it was on a Tuesday. I remember it was on a Tuesday. So I told God, I'm giving you time. If this is what you want for me, then so be it. If it's not, and also I was weighing, because I couldn't imagine living my life of sin. Like I would like my understanding of a Christian was so flawed. So when I knew that being a Christian meant I couldn't cheat exams anymore, and I was cheating. I couldn't cheat in exams anymore, and I couldn't do so many things. So I told God, as in, I couldn't imagine living my life of sin, and this sadness was overwhelming me. It was overwhelming, Kabisa. It's something that I wouldn't wish on anyone. So I told God, okay. So we waited for the first day went by, the second day went by, and God kept prompting my heart, kept prompting, he kept pushing. I kept just knowing and knocking in my heart. So and I just couldn't imagine living my life of sin. Like, the life that I knew seemed so good, so good, and I couldn't imagine living that life. So, and God just kept calling and calling and calling. So on the third day I decided, okay, then I will give my life fully to you. So I did. And I have this, and when I give my life fully to God, I just completely immersed myself in it. So as I was beginning my journey with God, I kept looking for things that will actually promote my relationship with God. So I started listening to Radio 316. I was working, I was tutoring some kid, so I started listening to Radio 316. I have a collection of gospel music. Even before I came to Christ, I had it. So I got some of my favorite gospel music from there, and then I put them in my phone. I started listening to those songs. I got the new Sanctus Real album. I started listening to those songs. I started listening to Joyce Meyer at like 1. I was tutoring someone and I was doing a tailoring course at the same time. So when I finished tutoring, I used to listen to this music. Then I used to listen to that music, my God. Then I go for my tutoring class, and then I just kept growing, and then God put in my way TBN, like the Trinity Broadcasting Network. Yeah, I started listening to grace messages. I started listening to Christ-centered messages, and with every message, it's like God kept pulling me closer and closer to Him, closer and closer to Him. And in my heart, I still felt like this is gonna last 6 months only. I'm just going to have a good relationship with God for 6 months only. So I couldn't overcome that. And then I told my friend, when I gave my life to Christ, I told my friend, who's a pastor, I told him that I had given my life to Christ, and I told him I just felt like it might fail. And then he told me, you remember when Peter And Peter, when Christ called Peter to walk on water, when Peter kept his eyes on Jesus, Peter did not drown. But when Peter took his eyes off Jesus and looked around him, Peter started sinking. Guys, when Peter started looking around him, Peter started sinking. And when he started sinking, Christ reached out his hand and pulled Peter out of the water. And then that was the first one he told me. And then the second one he told me was when Christ was talking about him being the vine and us being the branches. And never will you ever see a branch being afraid that the vine will let go of it or something like that. Like, the relationship between the branch and the vine is dependent on the vine, not the branch. So he told me, if you keep looking to Jesus, you will grow. But if you keep looking to your environment, you will drown. And in the event that you look to your environment and somewhat sink, Christ will not let go of you. So that's what I did, and I've been working with Christ for 5 years now. The 6 months that I thought I couldn't get past has become 5 years now, and I just can't believe how much God has done for me. He's taught me how to be unashamed. He's taught me how to be dependent on Him. He's taught me so many things, and right now I just can't imagine my relationship or my life without Christ. So what I'll tell you is, when you get into relationship with Christ, He wants it for you more than you want it for yourself. So because He wants it for you more than you want it for yourself, He will hold on to you. Regardless of what you think, Christ will hold on to you. He will hold your hand, He will guide you, and He will hold on to you. Your relationship with Christ is not dependent on you. It is dependent on Christ and what He has done. Your relationship with Christ is eternal. It is not something that will run out or something that has a time span. It is eternal. So if you're getting into relationship with Christ, just know that you're in it for the long run. It's been 5 years, and I cannot wait to see how we will grow together and how many things we'll do together. And I'm just so overwhelmed by what He has been doing in my life, by what He's going to do, and I'd really encourage you to consider getting into relationship with Christ. Okay? Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to my channel for more Christ-related movies. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to my channel for more Christ-related videos and for more Christian lifestyle videos. And yeah, share with your friends, leave a comment. If you can, share your story in the comment section as well of how Christ has brought you closer to Himself and all that. Yeah, so share your story, like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.